Actually, Yoga Alliance, have you heard of that? Yoga Alliance?
Yeah.
You have? Yeah? So what do you think? What is Yoga Alliance?
Don't they oversee like the certifications and the teacher programs and stuff like that?
That's true. But I don't know who gave them the authority to do it. Because like almost they took it upon themselves. Like, oh, like we are the, the authority on yoga, and if you want to like do a certification, if you get our approval, then you're recognized. It's like something self-declared. But honestly, like, I also thought it's a big organization, like until a year back, or maybe even until like 4 or 5 months back. So it was almost like it was only last year I even registered myself as a teacher there. Until then, I was like working totally on my own. I was not being recognized by them as like a RYS or ERYT or whatever they give. I didn't even bother about that. But I thought, okay, it's a body, fine. I gave them still the respect. I didn't know much about it. But as I actually went, and in fact, both of us were together, she was helping me a lot in creating the syllabus, and we were going over what do they require, because I wanted to start this yoga teachers training, and I felt this is the way that I am so passionate about passing this ancient wisdom of yoga in its authentic, pristine, and purest form. And it really disheartens me that it is being distorted, misrepresented, misunderstood, and it is being passed on in a misrepresented way. Not only that, people now are understanding it wrongly, but the way the teacher training programs are going on and they are training their students, it is like what we are passing on is really such a superficial and not true aspect of yoga. So that really bothered, and so we said fine, the one solution is to have teachers who will be teaching it the right way, who will understand this knowledge the right way, and who will pass it on to their students also correctly. And then they in turn will, as they teach for quite some years, they will probably start running a teacher training program, and then they will train teachers in the same authentic traditional way that they had learned this ancient wisdom. And so with that idea we started, and we were going over what really Yoga Alliance requires for us to submit to them, or how many hours they are expecting us to teach specific subjects. And I'll tell you, I was so disappointed at the shallowness of Yoga Alliance. And I even thought, why? By the time I finished and got the approval is when I realized I don't even need their approval, because they are not authority on yoga. They don't know what yoga is. They also think like everyone else that yoga is yoga poses. And they are asking me profile, teacher profile. Which style of yoga do you teach? And they gave me 7 options. Gentle yoga, fitness yoga, spiritual yoga, hot yoga, flow yoga, special population. And I said, I don't know, they are not talking about yoga, they are talking about yoga poses. They are actually asking in what style do you teach your yoga poses? But they are just putting it wrongly, because they think that yoga poses is yoga. So if you are teaching yoga poses in a certain way, then that is your style of yoga. But that has nothing to do with yoga. It's like, you can be the greatest yogi in the world without doing a single yoga pose. So it has nothing to do with the poses. Being a yogi, understanding yoga, practicing yoga, incorporating yoga in your life has really nothing to do with which style of yoga poses you do. You don't even have to do yoga poses, because it's only one branch. I don't want to do that branch, that's fine. I'll work on other branches. Whatever calls out to me. So that was from those simple questions, and the way they were asking how many hours I should dedicate for each subject. So they of course want us to teach yoga poses a lot. So that is minimum 75 hours. But yoga is actually a lifestyle, and that is the way it is being passed down from the ancient masters. And it is so ancient. We cannot even put how many years. People are trying to fix a date for that, and now the research is going on. They're trying to I think it's at least 5,000 years old. I mean, that is now the research is. And actually, yoga comes from the ancient wisdom. It is called Veda in India, and yoga is like a very easier way of bringing that wisdom of the Veda to the common person. So the Vedas now, with the archaeological research and survey, they have determined now that, not now, maybe a year back when I saw that it is at least 10,000 years old. And the research is still going on. They'll find more evidence and say no, like, you know, it has been there from even earlier to that, because it is mentioned in that, in this, and correlating this. So they do a lot of counter checking. So so these people have their own version, but this is really an ancient system, and it is sustained the onslaught of all kinds of foreign invasion and everything, and still it is still come down, and still people are even practicing some aspects of yoga. Means it has stood the test of time. It is that much so strong that no one could kind of shake it off, and we have not come to a state where to say, oh, once upon a time in a country called India there were people who were practicing something called yoga. Otherwise it would have been like that, but it is not. It is still alive, and you know, like there is more and more interest, and some people have gone into different aspects of it, but majority are still in the physical and the superficial aspect. But there are some people who have the awareness that it has more, but they are just so few in number, and probably they are not the ones getting the yoga teacher certification and propagating those branches. Like they just call it totally a different name, like kirtan singing, that's all. But that is an aspect of yoga, but they don't call, because the Yoga Alliance requires that you teach poses to be called as a yoga teacher. So only these people are actually, you know, more popular and more known kind of thing. So that is the background of how and why we wanted to actually do this teacher training. And so while they demand that many hours for that, and yoga being a lifestyle, they say at least 20 hours you have to do for yoga as a philosophy and lifestyle. So a little bit of time they have given. But again, another interesting thing we noticed was, they also tell, as we submit the syllabus, how many contact hours with the main trainer is required. But for the lifestyle and philosophy, 0 hours. Which means the main teacher doesn't need to know anything about yoga as a lifestyle, the philosophy of yoga. They can ask somebody else to come and teach that to their students, while they can be just focusing on poses. And like, that was really weird to me, because the teacher is the one who lives that lifestyle of yoga, who follows it, who integrates it into her or his life, and through that passes it on to the student. And the student sees like, oh, my teacher is really living this, and I want to take these aspects and try to put it in my life. Like, that is how it should be. But here the teacher can be totally not even be in the room at all when it is going on, because she can invite someone and say, okay, you do this, you know, while I'm busy doing something else. So for me, like, when they put that, I knew like these people have no idea what they are talking about. Like, they just don't know what yoga is. They are just thinking it is physical exercises, you know. Otherwise something called yoga, fitness yoga will not even exist. I mean, maybe you can do yoga poses as a fitness, but even that is wrong, because yoga poses have to be done in a certain way. It has to be done accompanied with breath and things like that. So the moment you make it fitness and keep doing it fast, then you are kind of missing the element of yoga, and then it is, you can't even call it yoga poses even anymore. Forget about yoga, but even for fitting into that branch, it still needs to fulfill certain requirements. And when you are even cutting that thing off, then it even fails that test of yoga poses. But so for them to be calling that, and all they are focused is only that, and it was like, it told me like, okay, if the body called Yoga Alliance, which puts that seal of approval on everyone's application, itself is so shallow in knowledge, what can we say of the other people who get approved by them? So that was all like many shocking things that I actually experienced just in the process of applying for this and getting the, I mean, they just approved mine in like 3 days, very surprisingly. And others were teasing, oh, probably they'd never seen a syllabus as elaborate as yours. And they thought like, oh my God, this person like really knows what she's talking about. Let's
We
not
better
be
prove
here.
her.
So it's like, in no time, I think I submitted it on like 19th, and by like 22nd, they said three small changes, like you need to move this to the category of lifestyle, you have put them under the techniques thing, so just move these three. And I sent it the same day, and like before Thanksgiving, like the next day they approved it. And I said, oh wow, like they were really quick.